Exactly.
It's the 30 minutes of cardio. It's not the speed or the distance.
Exactly.
It's the 30 minutes of cardio,
exactly.
right? Right.
Exactly.
So, ironically, today I switched up my workout.
Did you do some cardio?
No.
God damn it.
But
sorry, everybody.
Every once in a while I'll switch it up to it.
I don't mean to say GD all the time, but I do, and I don't know why. I think it's because Mitch makes me so mad.
I switch it up to where, usually I'll do 12 max, 3 sets of 12.
Yeah.
Well, today I did. I
you
basically
do 4 sets of 8. Think it's the same.
No. I took the weight down by 25%, and I did 20 reps instead of 12.
That's better.
Oh my God, it's such a harder workout.
Everyone acts like, I'm not going to say everyone. I don't mean to be a dick, but I do this weight. I got this weight and I'm bulking up. Dude, if you can do half the weight 3 times the reps, you're cut as shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you are cut.
Yeah.
I
usually don't take photos of myself in the gym. I took a photo today because my shoulders were fucking pumped.
I'm so torn. So last week we talked about me doing 75 hard. I'm seriously thinking about doing it. I'm so torn by, I don't want to do it because I'm being lazy. That's just all it is. It's I'm just being lazy. And the other part is I want to do 75 hard plus workout extra so that I can show you and all these other ass hats what it's like to be ripped. Because seriously, if I
we're going to have to do 75 hard together. Is our first fucking workout going to be 100 pounds of dog food for 45 fucking minutes? Is that what this is?
I'm not shitting you. If I work out super hard and I take a lot of protein, I have a good physique naturally.
Right.
And if I do it, I just look like Mark Wahlberg, but instead of being 4'2", I'm almost 6. You know what I mean? I have that physique, and I just do. I don't know what it is. I just have it.
I can see.
But the problem is, I'm so fucking lazy. I don't want to do it. But at the exact same time, I want to do it so that I can be like, "Hey, fuckers, this is what happens when you work out." It's just I'm torn. I'm just so torn.
I was never as lean.
I'm so torn and lazy that I don't want to do it. That's my flaw. I don't know what you're doing.
I got a hair in my mouth.
I don't know if she hasn't shaved in a while or what the fucking problem
That's
is.
a long ass hair for that.
Get your finger out of your mouth.
All right.
I know, look, the right answer is, Dave, people are looking up to you now and you're part of it. You're a mentor group. You should be doing it. But then at the same time,
Lead
I'm
by example.
But at the same time, I'm like, man, I've made it. Fuck that. I got a little bit of money. Have I?
Do you have the Ferrari?
I bought a new boat this week.
Do you have the Ferrari?
I bought a boat instead. I want a Ferrari.
This is the first I've heard about a boat. Is it a boat?
It's a fishing boat.
Is it a fucking paddle boat?
It's a 20-foot Lund. It's a nice boat.
Deep V.
Yeah, it's a
old man boat.
It's a nice boat.
You don't want to fall out.
Well, I can take Layla tubing in it.
Okay.
But I can still fish out of it.
There you go.
Well, that's you talked about.
I've talked about doing the podcast from a boat, and I sold my boat, and then I was going to get a bigger boat. So I've got the bigger boat. So podcasting the boat's coming, next spring probably.
Are we going to Bill Dance it where somebody's falling out of the boat 24/7?
It's going to be, you're awesome because I got my sea legs.
Or the trolling motor comes unhitched from the boat and goes off into the water.
If it does, we're leaving it. I'm not going down to get it. But no, I don't have the Ferrari, but I'm working there.
I sent you one today.
That's the same one you sent me last time, by the way. Yeah.
Well, every time I see one,
I don't want to look.
Every time I see a Ferrari under 150 grand, I'm sending it to you.
This is what I want. Pay attention. I don't want a Modena anymore. I want. So the one after that is an F430 Spider. Spider just means convertible. Okay. So F430 Spider. That's the last year they made a gated 6-speed manual.
What year is that?
06 to 09, I think.
All right.
That's the last year they made a 6-speed gated manual. If it's an F1, which is the paddle shifters, don't send that shit to me.
F430 Spider.
Gated 6-speed.
If anybody listening to the show...
Gated 6-speed. If you want to buy me one, send it to me at 29307.
If anybody listening to this show...
I'm just saying.
hears about an F430 Spider,
they're all over. They're expensive.
Then
God, they're like
send it to us.
50.
Our email is askmitch@mitchsmedley.com, David@tradewindsconsulting.com, or Mitch@tradewindsconsulting.com.
I want one really bad. I'd really like it in Corsa red with a tan leather interior.
If you listen to the show and you currently own one, then send David a picture of you driving what could be his Ferrari, and please have your middle finger up in the photo.
That would be great.
Because he needs that.
The thing is, though, like so what we were saying, if I took it to the next level and worked out every day and did all that stuff, that doesn't get me the Ferrari.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it does. It increases your personal level of discipline, and it expands your internal beliefs of what is possible. Because right now, you don't got a six-pack.
My internal beliefs of what are possible are exponential. Like, there's no... Like, I know what's possible.
You know what's possible, but you don't know you can do it.
Oh, I know I can do it.
Can you go 75 days without drinking?
Ooh.
See?
So if I did...
I think you can.
Is there a Ferrari at my doorstep? No.
No.
Of course not.
But the behaviors and the traits that are going to lead to the Ferrari are at your doorstep.
I don't... yeah, but those things don't coincide.
Sure they do.
We're getting into... psychological stuff here, but no, they don't.
Sure they do.
No, they don't. I know I can work hard.
The success happens in the mundane details.
The one thing that's holding me back money-wise...
Hey, if you like what you're hearing on The Void and you want even more info, we just started a mentorship program specifically for trades professionals to start their business or to get their business to an incredibly healthy position. So if you'd like more info, click on the link in the description of this show.
We're not going to talk about it on the show.
Okay.
Like that doesn't have to do with me working out every day. I can still work out every day and that thing still be holding me back.
Well, let's get back to
wrap up the accountability.
Let's get back to the accountability side of things. So when is it appropriate?
We're like 120, Mitch, on one topic.
When is it appropriate to hold guys accountable? So it's your job as the business owner and as the leader to set the standard for what is allowable and what is not. And accountability comes in when guys are falling below the standard. Okay?
Yeah.
So you have to set the standard. You have to decide what is pass and what is fail. And then the moment something falls below the fail line, you have to hold them accountable. Because if you don't, then what happens is the guy knows exactly what is pass and what is fail. Your employee knows exactly what is acceptable and what is not. They know
where those limits are.
And so
they know where the line is.
They know they're dipping below the line.
Yeah.
They're wondering if you're going to see it. And if you say something every time they dip below the line, they know you're watching. If you don't say something,
they can push that line further.
And you say, well, maybe they're just having a bad day. I'm going to let it ride. I'm going to see where this goes.
Yeah.
They know exactly what's going on. I'm not saying they're doing this intentionally. Like, we get lazy sometimes, and sometimes we just don't give it our all. And we're hoping our boss doesn't see it, but we know we're not giving it our all, right? And we're expecting the boss to say something. And so when the boss doesn't say something, well, now that just immediately set the new standard. The boss said the standard was here. I just did it below the standard. So now the standard is here.
Yeah.
Down here, right? And
once you drop your standards, it's very hard to get them back up.
Well, if you allow it to drop for too long, you might lose employees getting them back up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
it's hard to get them up there.
Yeah. My guys have heard this before, and I probably need to get close to it again. I've got two or new guys that haven't heard this yet. But like, one of the ways that I reinforce our standard of excellence is we have a tandem toilet paper holder in the shop.
You and the toilet paper, man.
Well, you think like it's so inconsequential, but it means so much. I will see
to Mitch
from time to time. I will see empty cardboard rolls on the toilet paper holder, and I'll see a full thing of toilet paper sitting sideways vertically on top of the toilet paper holder.
That's what I do, because I like to hold it up and then wrap it around like a mitt. And, you know.
As long as there's full rolls on the holders, I don't care. But when I see our own guys too lazy to change the TP roll in our own shop, that sends a signal of what are you too lazy to do in a customer's home? Like, this is the place where you literally shit. So if you can't change the TP roll in your own bathroom, what are you not doing in a customer's home?
Oh my God.
And it seems inconsequential, but
Shitting
for me,
and using all their TP is what it sounds like.
and leaving the roll fucking empty.
Hey, bitch, I left you with no toilet paper.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I sunk up your bathroom, I skid marked your toilet, and you're out of TP.
Hey, I need you to go in there.
By the way, I clogged it, and that's going to be another $105.
Hey, bitch, can you go in there and blast those shit stains off for me?
Well, it almost kind of signifies too, not only that, but they probably value themselves less than they do the customers, which that's also a thing, kind of a bad thing too. It's like they almost like Jordan Peterson said this, you need to treat yourself like the person you're responsible for taking care of. Like a lot of times you can be so hard on yourself and you'll go to like guide somebody else and you're way easier on them than on yourself. It's like you should do that to yourself.
Yeah, 100%.
And so I think maybe a little bit of that too.
Well, let me tell you this. As a guy who works out 98% of the days of the year, there's probably 5 days a year where I don't work out. Okay? I walk into a room.
Sorry.
Dude,
Austin just ripped ass in the podcast studio.
Dude, what the fuck?
Man.
Dude, that was loud enough to get to the mic.
Yeah.
Oh, that was my hand.
No, that's your hand.
No, look.
That first one, that's bullshit.
So
he's farting over there.
As a guy who works out 98% of the days of the year,
Jesus, stinks.
I can walk into a room of 5 people and I can immediately recognize who I have a base level of trust with and who I don't. And it comes to their own personal level of discipline and their own personal level of accountability. If I walk into a room and there is 5 people in the room and 2 of them are obese, I immediately know that the ones that are obese have a lower level of discipline and a lower level of accountability. And the ones that are physically fit and are even to the point where they're wearing tighter fitting clothing and they're willing to, I don't want to say show it off, but they're willing to accentuate the fact that they hold themselves to a higher standard. I automatically have a higher level of trust with those people. And this is not me segregating people. This is not me being discriminatory or anything else. This is society in general.
Well, you just know that they have a level of discipline that the other people don't have.
Exactly.
It has nothing to do with anything else.
It's a comparison.
Yeah, it has nothing to do with anything else.
Right. And guys, if you don't think women are doing this, you're fucking delusional. If you stood in a lineup next to 5 other random guys, women are immediately judging of those 5 or 6 guys who is the most physically fit.
Instantly.
It's in their DNA. They're literally genetically built.
So are we.
We are too, right?
Yeah. It's but okay, which one of these do I want to impregnate? Like it's just in there.
It's a primal.
Well, it's
100% primal.
For guys to impregnate, it's more of a sexual desire, right? For women to look at it the other way, it has more to do with their primal instinct.
Who's going to take better care of me?
Who is going to take better care of me and my future family?
It's going to be the ripped dude that has a set of discipline.
Maybe not the ripped dude that has discipline, but it's definitely, as you're looking at the cascade of 5 or 6 guys, the guy that's obese has a lower level of discipline. He has a lower level of self-esteem. He has a lower level of accountability within himself. So why in the world would I think he is going to be a better life partner than the guy who is either not ripped or not obese?
It's the same as like the skinniest little dude there too. Is the same thing. Like he's not eating right. He's eating fast food. He's eating whatever. He's not working out. He's not whatever. You know what I mean? Same thing.
Right.
It doesn't have to be because it's the biggest fat guy. It could be the skinniest little guy that literally shows no will to work out, to eat right, to do whatever it takes to make himself the top of his game. It's the same thing.
And as a female looking at that, this happens so fast they don't even recognize it. A female looks at that and says, well, if he's not willing to put himself through pain for his own benefit, he's definitely not going to be willing to put himself through pain and discomfort for my benefit or our family's benefit. And so they immediately start casting them off. Unless you have a beta female where a beta female might come in and I know I'm losing my voice. No, I'm losing my voice.
Sucking too much dick.
Know. Yeah, that's exactly. I'm trying to get a raise.
You walked right into that one.
My knees are all bruised. I'm trying to get a raise.
Are they? Let me look.
So a beta female might actually entertain the idea of that because they don't want to be challenged by somebody who's pushing themselves to become better.
Yeah.
So it just kind of depends. Do you want an alpha female or a beta female, right? Well, a beta male and a beta female is like the recipe for welfare. And I'm not joking. I'm not being...
Oh, no, they're lazy as dog shit.
Exactly, right? It is like, I'm not going to challenge you and push you to be better. You don't challenge me to push me to be better.
I'm going to live in my mom's basement. Will you like to live there too? Yes, we'll live there together and we'll get welfare checks and then we'll have lots of Cheetos.
Right. And so...
like that's what we'll have. It'll be great.
It's true.
What?
See people do that.
I
fucking A. 100. Since I was 20 working at Pizza Hut. Like, dude, what are you doing tonight? Well, I got to do some laundry. What do you mean? Well, it's Saturday night and I get the washer and dryer from my mom. You live in your mom's basement. Well, how old are you? 25. Dude, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
Right.
And then you look around and you're like, oh, yeah, I'm 17 and I'm working at Pizza Hut with a bunch of fucking losers.
Right.
Like, dude, what are you doing?
Now,
get your shit together.
The flip side to that is you don't necessarily have to work insanely hard to counteract this.
No,
right?
You don't. You just got to not be a piece of shit.
It is small improvements to your habits and small daily disciplines that result in long-term success.
Yeah.
Right? If you're listening to this show and you're obese, it took you years to get that way. It will take you years to get unobese. Okay? Don't expect overnight success.
Unless you're chased by a bear for like a mile.
But hold yourself accountable to the standard that it's going to take daily disciplines repeated day in and day out, year in and year out. Okay?
For the same amount of time it took you to get there.
If it took you 5 years to get fat, it's going to take you 5 years to get skinny. It is just what it is.
Yeah.
Right? And for the first year of that, you're still going to be judged as fat, 100%. However, it will, on a long enough timeline, turn in your favor. Today.
Yeah, and then you'll feel better.
The timing of this could not be better.
Be so much more satisfied with your life.
Today, I'm leaving the gym, and I typically I use my gym time for social media time in between sets.
Of course you do.
Today I got hyper focused on my sets and my phone was down the whole time. And so by the time I got out to my car, I had a lot of missed notifications and stuff like that. So I sat in my car for a minute and was catching up on that. And a guy pulls up next to me and honks his horn and rolls down his window. And so I roll down mine. And he says, "Hey, are we neighbors?" And then he references where he lives, and I'm like, "Yeah, I guess we are, you know." And he says, "Well, do you own the company?" He referenced the company on the side of the vehicle, and says, "Do you own that company?" I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, I manage a couple of restaurants, and I'm looking for a really good plumber, and I cannot find a really good plumber." And if you're in the restaurant business, you gotta have a good plumber, right? Or tons of plumbing in restaurants.
Unless you can do it yourself.
Especially in Mexican restaurants.
Well, and ironically, that's what this is. It's Costa Vida, right?
Or an Italian.
What is that?
I've never been there, but I'm going to go there tomorrow night, believe it or not.
Let me know if it's good or not.
I'll let you know. I've heard nothing but great things. They got one in Lee Summit and one in Overland Park.
Where's the Lee Summit?
I don't know.
Downtown Lee Summit?
I'm going to find it.
What the fuck, Mitch? You have no information. You can't bring it up not have any fucking information.
I'm going to Google it tomorrow night. We're going to go there. But
God
anyway.
Damn it. It's like having a fucking stepbrother.
He references a couple of issues he's having in the restaurant, and he says, "I've watched you in here. I see you in here every day in the gym. You're killing yourself in the gym. I'm surprised." He actually said, "I'm surprised you haven't set off the lunk alarm because you're grunting and I'm doing everything." Yeah. This is Planet Fitness where they frown upon heavy weightlifting, right? And, So he was like, "If you've got that level of discipline in the gym, I can only imagine you run a pretty good business." And he explains a couple of issues he's having with his business, right? And plumbing issues. And so the one issue I explained to him, I'm like, you don't even need us to come out. It's this problem right here. You just do this and it's fixed. And so he's like, holy shit. I've paid plumbers over $1,500 to try to fix this problem, and you just gave me the answer for free in a parking lot. And I'm like, yeah, it is what it is, right? So the next problem, he actually has to have a service call to have us come out. So he was supposed to call. I haven't checked. He was supposed to call and book that today.
Yeah.
But
got bamboozled, didn't call.
In exchange for giving him the free advice, he gave me 2 free entrees. He gave me coupons for 2 free entrees. And so we're going to go there for date night tomorrow night, right?
Nice. Where's mine?
Well, I can give them to you if you want. Like, I don't need the free entrees.
Don't forget Rancho Grande, your first love.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
But ultimately,
out of here.
Don't
It's
knock
awful.
on a Rancho.
No.
I just hope.
Rancho Grande,
Mitch
right
and
over
I-
here next to Legends of Asia?
No, that's different.
Rancho.
Okay. You're talking about the one next to the
on Ferguson.
North Outer Road,
Okay,
Blue
that,
Springs.
okay, that's
Yeah.
a good
Best
place.
margaritas
We're about to all
ever.
fight.
First off,
I'm not a fighting guy, but
no, they're not. The food is good. You're not fighting anybody.
Mitch and I. I'll team up with Mitch.
That's what
Tag
it,
team.
that's what it would take.
The tag team is
And
Mitch
I'm-
holding me, so I can be a punching bag.
And to be honest, I'm not 100% sold.
Dude, Rancho
So-
Grande. Oh, so
No, I meant on me, YouTube beating me up.
So Costa Vitas,
Oh, me
I think
neither.
it's a national chain.
Oh, is he a
And
franchisee?
it might not. It seems maybe more to go. I don't know. We're gonna find out. But anyway, he gives me these coupons for a free entree, and then he books this service call, right? But the key point of the conversation was he recognized if I own a plumbing company and I'm killing myself in the gym daily, then I must hold certain levels of accountability and discipline within the plumbing company.
Yeah.
And so he's selecting his plumber, and I wear a Smedley Plumbing tank top when I'm working out. Okay. So
You look ridiculous in it. But
I
okay.
probably look ridiculous, but it
yeah.
got me a service call today, right?
Yeah, you
So-
do. It's awful.
He recognized that if the owner of a plumbing company is willing to put himself through hell every morning at that hour, then he's probably running a fairly okay business as a plumbing company.
Yeah.
Right?
how you do one thing is how you do everything.
He made his business selection based off of who he saw in the gym. And this is no different than society in general. If you walk into a customer's home and you are overweight and you are unshaven and your clothes don't look like they've been washed and your trucks look like absolute horse shit, the customer will not trust what you say. The customer will not have a good impression with your business. The customer will not have a good time with you, right? However, if you walk into that same customer's home having the same conversations, but you are physically fit, you are not obese, and your truck looks amazing, just like Austin just said, how you do one thing is how you do everything.
Yeah.
The customer will immediately have a better experience with you simply because all of the hidden identifiers were already there.
Yeah.
Same kind of like you can be obese and deliver an amazing customer experience and still get 5-star reviews. Just imagine what's going to happen when you do all of that and you're physically fit. And the customer sees not only was this an awesome experience, but the guy takes care of himself. It's obvious that he cares about what he's doing in all aspects, not just in my home, but in his own life.
Yeah.
Right? So
That's accountability.
that is the level of accountability that you need to be having. I have a friend of mine. I say friend of mine. They're a digital friend of mine. I've never spoken to them personally. They're a digital mentor of mine. And
Aw.
yeah, I know. I'm losing my voice. I'm telling you.
You think we're going to do a whole other show after this? You better get your shit together.
No, we're going to split this one into 2.
Oh, is that what we're gonna do?
That's exactly what's going to happen.
God damn it, Mitch.
So I have a friend of mine who he's literally made shirts inside of his company that says 6-pack or you're fired.
I think we
and
talked about this a little
I
bit.
think we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I
But-
said you wouldn't make it. You don't have a 6-pack.
I've got a 4-pack.
Dude, I've had a 4-pack since I was born.
Well, I'm just saying.
Austin's got a keg.
I got a
And
12-pack of
he's
Mountain
not
Dew.
actually firing guys that don't have a 6-pack, but
He's
he's firing
firing-
guys that aren't working towards it.
Well, they're not. Yeah.
Right? So,
Which
you know,
it might be illegal. I'm not sure.
I don't know if it is or not, but I admire
I mean,
the
if he hires
level of
him at
accountability that he's holding his team to.
Yeah.
Right? I've got another friend of mine. We have actually spoken in person.
Friend number 2.
But
okay.
it's mostly a digital mentor. He holds workout sessions.
Oh.
And he expects his employees to show up at the workout
sessions. Does he pay them extra for workout sessions?
Abso-fucking-lutely not. It's what you got to be a part of the team. If you want to be a part of the team, you show up at the workout, right? Are you willing to improve yourself personally? Are you willing to hold yourself accountable to the level that it needs to show up at the workout?
Let me ask you a question. Do you think that would work if you did that, implemented that at your work?
If I implemented it overnight, I would probably have a team of 1 tomorrow. But if I implemented it gradually, and if I said, guys, this is where we're moving to, so you need to get on my level or you're not going to be here.
I'd like to see if you could pull it off.
I would love to be in that position.
Do you think Austin would fold?
No. Austin would do it.
You think you'd do it? Would you do it, Austin?
Yeah, I mean,
I'm going to say half of my team would do it, and half of my team, I just have to see how the cards fell.
Well, here's
Look
the
at
thing
him.
is,
He's like,
like,
oh, fuck.
You don't, like, I know Mitch has a story, but you don't have to be like, killing at the gym. It could be like just doing the simple stuff right, dressing well, shaving, brushing your teeth, taking showers, like just
no. But we're talking about getting you in the gym.
Well,
yeah,
like if Mitch said once every 2 weeks you have to meet here and you have to do cardio for a half hour, would you do it?
I've seen a lot of good-smelling, clean-shaven, fat motherfuckers.
I know. That's why I'm asking Austin. God damn it, Mitch.
Good-smelling and clean-shaving is still that does
Austin's not
excuse.
fat, by the way.
No, he's not.
No, I'm just saying, would you do it? That's all.
Technically, I'm like, the top of my bracket's like 190. And I'm like 206. I'm like, I'm kind of almost there.
I guarantee you
you're on the
that
gray line. You're on the gray line.
By the laws of doctors, you're technically obese.
Yeah, but those are like...
I know. It's a strict line. And I'm not saying that to dog you. I'm saying, like...
Their lines are tight. Their lines are tight.
Danielle was technically obese before she lost all this weight.
Well, she was also 75 foot tall. She's tall.
She's fucking tall.
Yeah, she's super tall.
I tell everybody she's 5'12". She is.
She's taller than me.
We all know that's 6 foot. I know. She's tall. She's not 6 foot.
No, she's like 5'11".
She's like 5'10".
Well, I mean, like,
she's 5. Her and I are basically the same height.
Like if you're... Like, I mean, I'm saying,
she's
like, if you're
long legs,
obese,
though.
then get thin too. But as far as like, you don't have, like, you can, but it's like, if you're overweight, get underweight, and then just like, all the
right. But I guess what I'm saying is you can't cover up a lack of personal self-discipline with clean shaven and good smelling.
Because you can say, like, you can tell whenever someone's life is falling apart and they've tried to put on the facade when they come to your door.
Exactly.
It's like their hair is done, but they're not alpha.
Their hair's done, they're clean shaven, they smell good, but they're obese. And that tells you that for a long period of time before they knocked on your door, they do not practice personal accountability and self-discipline.
Or it's the same thing as if, how do I say this? I'll just use that example. If they've done that for that long, that doesn't mean that they're... If they've done that for just a little while, that doesn't... Like, you can hold yourself together for 2 days, and then the third day they're sloppy.
Yep.
And then they can hold themselves together for 2 more days, and then next Monday they're sloppy.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Just because you do it for a small period of time doesn't mean you're exercising the amount of discipline it takes to be that way all the time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
What I'm
Does that
saying,
make sense?
Obesity is the most free problem ever to solve. Okay? Danielle and I went to a trunk or treat the other day.
Oh, God.
The trunk or treat was not in the best part of town. It wasn't in a bad part of town, but it wasn't in the best part of town.
Where was it?
It's in Independence.
It's more of like a put you in my trunk and treat.
I thought you were going to say like a bad part of Blue Springs.
Like
no.
When you say Independence,
it was in Independence.
Gotcha.
Which, as if you're not from around here, we loosely refer to that as the meth capital of the world because it is.
It's been in the top 5
Cops
for 20
just spent
years.
3 weeks filming there for, some reason.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Because there's a lot of activity.
The amount of obese parents walking through a trunk or treat with their children.
Can I have one for myself?
Was insane.
Yeah,
right?
dude.
And all I could think about, like, it's...
I want to say something here just real quick. We're not against fat people, but look, you can't be at the top of your game if you don't take care of yourself.
Right. And
You just can't be.
What I'm
you
saying
fucking can't be. It's impossible.
if you look at this very shallowly, it's going to say that I'm like prejudiced against obese people. And I'm not. I'm prejudiced against people that lack discipline and accountability.
Yeah, and that can be a
shows
skinny
up in the form of obesity.
and that can be the same thing as a skinny person that has a meth addict. It's the same thing.
Exactly.
It's the exact same thing.
It's just obesity is more common than meth addiction.
Well, and it's easier to explain.
Right. And so now I'll say this with the entire thing of saying a food addiction is probably one of the most difficult addictions to cure.
Yeah, it's because sugar and caffeine are free or not illegal.
It's not even that. It's you don't need heroin to live. You don't need cocaine to live. You don't need alcohol to live.
Speak for yourself, bro.
You don't need sugar to live. You absolutely need food to live.
You do need sugar to live.
Mild levels.
But it's very small.
Right.
Yes, it's very small. Nice try.
So somebody with a food addiction, it is one of the most difficult addictions to cure.
Yeah,
because you need it to live.
Well, especially with all the mental. So like food addiction is one-on-one with like mental issues.
Right.
Because people cope with it by eating.
Right. Well, so like Andy Frisella said that, I'm not going to take credit for this. Andy Frisella said this, and he's dead on. Imagine being addicted to something that you need to live. It's the hardest thing to cure. It would be like, hey, you need a little bit of Coke, but don't overdo it.
Yeah.
And who's not going to fucking overdo it on Coke, right?
So good.
And so...
That's so fucking good.
I don't want to act like I don't understand the problem or anything else. Now, I've never been, I've probably teetered on the side of obese. The heaviest I've ever been was 220 pounds.
First off,
6 foot tall.
First off, that picture that you showed me of like before you got some
75
help.
hard. Yeah.
But like, dude.
I know.
Like
I hadn't, gut.
So we hadn't seen each other face to face. Like we talked and stuff. We were kind of, like you had kids, I had kids. We're, kind of, you don't drift apart, but
this
you are apart.
This was before the podcast and everything else. Yeah.
Yeah. And like you showed me that picture. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah. And I grew up. So
dude, you were fat as fuck.
Here's another thing.
You were humongous. I was like, oh my, I showed Janine. She was like, is that Mitch?
Here's another thing.
I was like, yeah.
Guys will grow beards to hide their obesity. Right? They literally make T-shirts.
Like we can't see that you're a fat guy?
Well, they make T-shirts around obese people.
Gotta hope some fat guy with a beard doesn't beat me up because of this show.
And I shit you not, they make T-shirts that are tighter in the arms but looser in the belly to make it look like you're buff but hide your belly.
Yeah, it's called marketing.
Yeah. And so they a lot of times obese people will have beards. And I'm not segregating or anything else. I'm just saying that is one of the other hidden triggers of somebody that's trying to hide their lack of discipline and lack of personal accountability.
Yeah.
But ultimately, so the only reason I say that is in the photo,
the before photo,
I had a beard.
So fat, bro.
It's the only time in my life I had a beard.
I was like, dude,
you know why I grew the beard?
Seriously, I didn't recognize. I was like, dude, that's not Mitch. I was like,
you know why I had a beard?
Because you were fat.
Because I was fat. I was trying to hide my chin.
Fat guy.
Yep.
Well, I mean, I feel like
you mean double chin? Do you mean triple chin?
Yeah. And that's the only time in my life I was ever on antidepressants.
You were huge.
Yeah.
I was like I was blown away. I was like, man, I didn't realize how bad he's got.
Yeah, it was like 218 or 222 pounds or something like that. It was a lot.
Damn.
I feel like I do better work whenever I have a clean office. Like, so if I ever feel like I'm just like stuck, I'm like, man, I can't.
Yeah, you got to get that shit together.
There. And so I'm just like, I'm not saying my office is ever like crazy bad, but like that influences.
I hate it for
sure.
Like when my like my woodworking shop, like I'm still making tables, here and there, whatever. If that thing's a mess, I can't focus.
Yeah.
Dude,
like my brain's out of focus.
It's no different than a service professional if their truck looks like shit. Mm-hmm. If your truck looks like shit, your work habits are shit.
Yeah,
guaranteed, 100%.
And
if your truck looks like shit, you are lazy. You are trying to get off as early as possible. You are trying to give the least amount of experience you can. And all of that is because you're giving your own personal work truck the least amount of experience it can get.
And that comes down to your boss isn't holding you accountable either.
Some of it's your boss holding you accountable.
If your boss is holding you accountable, like your truck doesn't look like that.
Right.
Like your guy that brought the truck back, you said like, hey, this looks like shit.
Yep.
Like you knew it was going to happen. That's on you.
Yeah.
Like, and we talked about that on the podcast. Like you cannot let those guys run rampant. Like as a business owner, it's your job to mother the ship.
Yeah.
Now look, you don't have to be in there like with a white glove, like, hey.
No.
But you have to set a minimum standard for truck cleanliness.
Yeah, but
and hold them accountable to it.
Here's the flip side. We're all adults, and I can't make an adult do something they don't want to do.
Yes, you can.
Well,
first off,
as an employer, I can.
Yeah.
However, if the adult is hardwired into being in opposition of me,
then they're getting fired.
They're getting fired.
But you still have to have the minimum. Like we talked about earlier, if you don't set those boundaries and have those limits, then people are going to run over them.
Yeah.
Dude, you have to hold them accountable. And if,
tomorrow morning, we got truck inspection.
If you
winner gets a $50 gift card to Third Street Social. Austin, you're deciding whose truck it is.
Oh God, I was
because you're the only employee at the company that doesn't drive a company truck.
Okay, that's fair.
You're literally the one judging the truck inspection.
I'll be there. Second off, Mitch can't win, and if you don't pick me, I'm gonna be pissed.
I don't drive a company vehicle.
Yes, you fucking do.
It's not. It's in the shop.
It doesn't matter. You still fucking drive one. You know what's but you can't win.
What ironic is like these changes. Literally, like for me, an office cleaning is 10 minutes, but literally, it would take no time at all for someone to go out and just get their truck just cleaned up.
You're talking like. In the worst case scenario, you're talking an hour of work to get it back up to good, and then you're talking another hour of like
once a week an hour.
No. Once a week, you're talking 10 fucking minutes. You're literally talking 1 minute after every service call to get it back to perfect.
I mean, you say that, but like,
well, I mean,
I like my shit to be perfect.
When they're purging
I want that motherfucker to be spotless.
I'm 100%. Like, I literally, like, I have a post-flight checklist after every service call I ran. And part of that post-flight checklist was to put all material away and write a material list of everything I used and to organize my trash accordingly.
Your fucking employees should be doing the same list.
100%.
And if they aren't, that's on you, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the job. That's the leader's job to hold them accountable.
Implement that.
And there's time. I mean, especially now, there's like one service call a day for some of those, no. But even if there's no time, even if the guys are running 4 and 5 service calls a day, there's still time because it's 1 minute after every call. And here's the problem: if you're lazy,
it's 5 minutes, but okay,
it's not even 5 minutes.
It's 5 minutes.
If it's after every service call, it's 1 minute.
It's 5 minutes.
And so here's the process.
It's 5 minutes.
You get done with your service call. Your tools are already organized because you keep them in a well-organized bag, right? So you go back to your truck and you put away all the extra material, which shouldn't take too long.
That's 1 minute.
Because if it was really organized, it doesn't even take a minute to put away the extra material.
It's 1 minute.
And then you very quickly in your truck write down the 5 or 6 or 10 pieces of material you used.
That's 1 minute. That's 2 minutes.
Okay, call it 2 minutes.
Okay, that's 2 minutes.
So we're 10 minutes a day.
It's those small habits that you do. You get 1% better every day.
But here's the problem. Guys will not do it and then not do it and then not do it and not do it.
Yeah, and then
so now
takes them an
they're 4
hour
service
and a half.
calls in, right? And then they're like, fuck it, I'll do it tomorrow.
I always did mine.
That's like the adult version of I'll get gas in the morning, and that's the dumbest decision you can ever make.
Yeah, it is, because you're tired and you slept
you oversleep,
in.
and then now you're 10 minutes late for work.
I always did
gas.
I always did mine at the end of the day. Like so what I would do is I would just move on and move on and move on and move on, and then at the end of the day, that truck. I mean, I would organize everything. I know what I needed,
right?
But literally at the beginning of every day, that truck's ready to go. Right? Like it's okay.
So
let's go.
Here's the problem.
We're ready.
Is guys go through this for a week and not do shit, right?
Yeah, it's because they're fucking lazy, man.
Their memory is it took me an hour to get my truck back in order. And so then their memory becomes every time I try to get my truck back in order, it takes me an hour. And if I run 4 service calls a day and the boss wants me to get my truck back in order after every service call, that's an extra 4 hours of my day. But what they're forgetting is it took you an hour after running 20 service calls to get it back in order, not one. If you do it after every service call, it is literally 60 seconds of work. And if it takes you more than 60 seconds, it's because you are doing more than that one service call's worth of reordering your truck.
And say if you wanted to not do a crazy amount of work, say it's like you take 2 months and you start the 1 minute thing. I mean, in 2 months' time, you can do it two ways. You could just do it all in one day, or you could do it.
I'll be 100% honest with you. That's pussyfooting it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't take 2 months to get your truck back in order. Mm-hmm. If you're at the level where it takes you 2 months of 1 minute a day to get your truck back in order, where you're at right there is you give up your fucking Saturday or your Sunday or your evening.
Yeah.
And you get your truck back in order on your own time. And
then you've dicked around for so long.
And then you 1 minute after every service call to get your truck back in order. It's literally that simple.
I think that's where guys they fail to see, like, they'll do that in the moment, emotional. I gotta get my life together. They'll do it, but then there has to be that thing that goes like. So that's why I kind of agree and disagree about like the 2 minutes thing over one. I think they're both fine. I just think as long as they need to have that, like, okay, the reason why is because everyone's spending daily time.
Yeah. Well, it's no different than obesity, right?
Yeah.
Guys will spend years getting fat, and then they try to get skinny overnight.
Yeah.
And so they go run 10 miles, and they kill themselves, and they starve themselves, and then they put
like,
themselves in a bad position.
10 pounds. Well, no shit.
And then you want to turn.
It's not instantaneous.
Daily habits, daily disciplines. It took you years to get fat. It'll take you years to get skinny. If it took you years to get a shitty fucking truck, spend the time over the weekend, and it's going to take you years to learn the disciplines to keep it looking good.
And then where it gets worse is it starts to spill over. Then it becomes like, oh, well, I didn't have gas, and then I showed up at Ferguson, I didn't have the part, and I'm late because of them, and now I have to come back again. And then it's like,
then they blame everyone else.
Here's the ultimate sign of lack of accountability. I let my truck stock get to below minimum standards. I let my truck stock get to absolute deplorable conditions. And then I needed a part, and so I go to Ferguson or I go to the supply house,
and
they don't have it. So now I blame the supply house. When meanwhile I didn't blame myself for not keeping it on my truck for 6 fucking months.
Or I burned through 4 before I said something.
Right.
That's the worst.
Right.
I burned through fucking 5.
Personal accountability is the key to any level
and now
of success.
They don't have one. Well, after you used the first one, did you order one?
Right. Dude, I've been
like,
putting
what
Ferguson.
The fuck are you? What?
I've been putting Ferguson under fucking fire lately, and I've been getting so much attention lately. So we've been doing the sump pump program.
Do you want to talk about Ferguson? They fucked my eyeballs out like 2 different times.
They've fucked my eyeballs out a couple of times lately, and they're trying to get back in my good graces.
They suck.
So
I hate them.
They're almost too big
I've hated
to fail,
them
but
for
they're definitely
10 years.
They're definitely big enough to fuck my day up, right?
Ferguson.
So.
For all you out there listening, Ferguson's a joke.
We're doing this sump pump program where we're putting in an average of 5 sump pumps every 2 weeks. Okay. And these are a floor break. We got to jackhammer the floor, dig the pit, put in the sump pump.
Oh yeah, we all feel bad for you. Boo fucking who. It's 4 inches fucking thick.
What I'm saying is, every 2 weeks, I need 5 sump pump pits, 5 sump pumps, 5 MIPs, 5 check valves.
Are they not delivering them to your shop?
You would think it's that fucking easy.
It should be.
You would think I should be able to order 5 pits, 5 pumps, 5 check valves, 5 everything.
Do you want me to take over? Dude, I'll call Rodell, and that shit'll be at your fucking shop.
Rodell just made a delivery yesterday.
You know the only motherfucker at Ferguson that's worth a shit? You know what his name is?
Rodell. So...
he's the only motherfucker that's got a brain.
Here's the wild thing about all this.
Coolest black guy I've ever met in my life, by the way. You know what's fucked up? He's from Detroit. Detroit beat the Chiefs the first game.
Yeah.
Like, he's always wearing his Detroit hat. When I see him, I was like, hey, nice hat, bro. He's like, yeah, fuck you guys.
So
I love him, man.
Here's the funny thing.
He's fucking awesome.
I call my account rep and I tell him I need an order of all 5 of these things. 4 deliveries later to my shop.
Yep.
They finally get all 5
it's bullshit.
Units delivered, right?
It's bullshit.
And meanwhile, they have very specific delivery instructions. The delivery instructions are go to this address, go to this shop, punch in this garage code, put it in my shop. Every fucking time they call me. I don't know how to find it. What's your garage code? You're not here. Nobody answered the door. I'm like, read your fucking instructions, right?
It's because they're not on the instructions.
No, they're there. It's just the instructions are inside the saran wrapped pallet back in the truck.
It's bullshit.
Yeah.
It's bullshit. That stuff should be on their paper invoices.
Yeah.
It should be.
This is how you know you're losing context with your customer base, right?
You know the best way around it at Ferguson is you go to Rodell and you say, Rodell, hey, man. This is how you do it. You go to Rodell, I know there's a sequence of operations and they should have their shit together. Fuck that. You go to Rodell and say, Rodell, here's my cell phone. This is my garage code number. When you deliver to my shop, this is how it works. And he's like, dude, I got you.
No, it goes beyond that. They're on their last strike with me and they know this.
No, they don't. They don't care. And if you go somewhere else, their business is not going to go anywhere.
No, you're right. But ultimately, it's my job to do what it takes for us to be successful.
That's why you have to jump through. That's why you have to go to the other guys and be like, hey, dude, bro.
They know they're on their last strike. And if they fuck up one more delivery, I'm going. There's no shortage of plumbing suppliers in the area, right?
Yes, there is. They suck. The other ones suck even worse than they do.
Well,
they suck.
I'll fucking Amazon the shit if I have to.
PlumbingSupplyHouse.com.
Yeah, exactly.
PlumbingSupplyHouse.com.
So I can Amazon the shit and get better accuracy than going through the local provider.
If I were you,
as sad as that is,
I'd take that second warehouse and I'd PlumbingSupplyHouse.com. All that shit.
I'm not above it.
25 at a time.
Yeah,
that's what fucking I. First off, it'd save you money. They'd have a shipment. You'd have to wait there one day a month. Have one of your guys wait there and then fucking unload it all.
They can set the shit outside the garage door for all I care.
You say that till I roll up and steal all your sump pumps.
Well, no, because you get an email the moment it's delivered.
Yeah.
So the moment it's delivered, I drive to the shop and go get it.
Yeah.
But
dude, and people wonder why Plumbing Supply House, like they're like, how are all these companies taking over?
Yeah.
Because none of the supply. So like when you and I started out, like there was Warren Supply and Ferguson, like all these, and they would bend over backwards. Like you would go in there and they'd have, it's amazing. It was a supply house and they'd have supplies.
They'd actually have it.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you go in there and like, well, we don't have that. Well, what the fuck are you doing here? Why do you have 18 fucking employees and no parts?
What the fuck? The last meeting I had with Ferguson.
It's unbelievably stupid, dude.
So my account rep, I laid it all on the line.
And I don't care. And I hate plumbing. It's fucking dumb. But it's like, dude, what are you guys doing in here?
I told my account rep, I said, it is absolute 100% bullshit that I stock more sump pumps in my company than you stock in your supply house.
It's ridiculous.
And it's your job to supply sump pumps.
Yeah, it's insanity.
Like, I can't walk into your store and buy 5 sump pumps.
You know where you can buy 5 at?
5.
You know where you can buy 5 at?
Home fucking Depot.
Fucking Home Depot.
Yeah. I told her that flat out. I'm like, I got a better chance of filling this order at Home Depot than I do at Ferguson. Right?
Yeah, it's bullshit.
And so I said, I don't want to I'm not being rude. I'm not trying to like leverage you into anything. This isn't an ultimatum. This is just black and white. I have a business to run and I can't have 7 fucking meetings about ordering the exact same order every other week.
It's ridiculous.
It doesn't change. 5 sump pumps, 5 sump pits, 5 check valves, 5 MIPs.
You know where
15 inch and a half PVC 90s.
You know who actually does a pretty good job is that Odessa Wynn Nelson.
Amazon.com.
I'm just saying. Odessa Wynn Nelson.
Yeah.
Like if you call,
I'll go there if I need to. 100%.
You don't have to. You can call them and say, "Hey, I want to put this order in."
Oh yeah, I'm not physically going there. I'm saying I'll move my business to there.
Do you know who still works there? Do you remember Steve from?
No shit.
Still works at Odessa Wynn Nelson.
Motherfucker.
Yep.
Well, I might call him next.
You should.
100% honest.
You should. So if you
did you ever hear the story about Steve's kid when he was in high school?
No.
So his kid, high school kid, right? High school kids are dumb. They always do dumb shit.
Yeah. Same as you now. Got it. Yep. Yeah.
So he and his buddies started throwing rocks at each other. Just as fun. Well, he threw a rock at one of his buddies, and they were like across the parking lot in the school parking lot.
I've done that. I think I threw some rocks at you.
Yeah. He threw a rock at his buddy, busted his buddy's eye out, blind in one eye.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. Parents sued Steve. Like, it was a whole fucking
No, I don't remember that.
Yeah, he was like, who would have thought, like, raising kids will lead to this? Like, it's just kids being kids, and the 1 in a million chance the rock hits his friends, like, and they were friends.
Yeah.
Immediately turned enemies, parents go against each other, suing each other, all that kind of shit.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fucking wild.
Yowza.
So, I'll call up Steve tomorrow and be like, hey, I got an order coming up.
Odessa Wynn Nelson.
Yeah.
Odessa Wynn Nelson.
The sign shop that I get all of our vinyl graphics through is right down the street from them. So
they're actually like if you like they
I
don't
might drive out there tomorrow.
They don't I shouldn't say
they won't stock it, but if I give them 3 or 4 days heads up, they can get it.
They stock more than you think for as small as they are, but when you order something and he says, "Hey, it'll be here in 2 days," it's there.
Right.
Like they get the orders.
That's my problem with Ferguson is I told them
They have too much red tape. They have 87 different levels of salesmen, and for them to get the shit to all to one location, it's a nightmare.
2 months ago.
They're too big to handle their logistics. That's their fucking problem.
Yeah, 2 months ago.
And I don't even care about plumbing, but they fucking drive me insane.
2 months ago, I made our initial order with Ferguson, and I told them flat out, I'm buying these in sets of 5. I don't know if we're going to do 5 a week or 5 every other week. It just kind of depends, but I'm buying these in sets of 5. All right, so you've newly started your company and you're trying to pinch pennies. However, you don't realize the biggest thing that's hurting you right now is not gathering all of your information into one spot and making it super efficient for you to use. So the answer is Field Pulse. It gets you off of paper tickets. It gets you off of all of that crazy office work at the end of the day and reconciling all that stuff. And it lets you organize everything with ease. It puts it all into the computer. It actually puts it all into the cloud. So it's not even putting it on your computer. And it lets you organize your customers. It lets you organize all of your service calls. Heck, it'll even route you to your service call. And the best part is, even after all of that, you'll probably realize about a 100% growth in your business just in the first year of using Field Pulse. So if you'd like to check out Field Pulse and see what great looks like, click on the link in the description of this show. This is going to be the same order every time. I want 5 pumps, 5 check valves, 5 MIPs, 5 pits.
Yeah.
You know, what is it? 1590s. 3 for every pump times 5. Yeah, 1590. Or no. Sorry.
Probably 5 for every pump.
3090s.
Yeah.
So 690s per pump install. 3 sticks of pipe for every pipe install. 3 2-hole straps. Like, I had this set list, right?
Yeah.
I said,
this
I'm
is
going
my
to order.
average. I'm going to be
every
ordering
time
these.
I make this order, it will be this exact same order every time.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's
never
gonna be,
once.
And it's going to be called the Johnson County whatever project, whatever.
Never once have I modified the quantities. Every single time they've sent me different shit. Every fucking time they've sent me different shit.
That's your salesperson.
No.
She's an idiot.
It's internal
He's
Ferguson.
an idiot, whoever.
And this last meeting I had with her, I'm like, I'm done. I shouldn't have to have 1-hour meetings with you every time a delivery goes bullshit. Like, your piss poor deliveries are costing me an hour of meeting time with you.
Yeah.
Like, this
you can't get your shit together.
I said, here's
what
the problem.
What the fuck are you doing, man?
Here's the problem with Ferguson. I can walk into your location and I can tell them I want 1/2-inch white pecs and you're going to give me 1/2-inch white pecs. If I email in an order and say I want 1/2-inch white pecs, you have 70 different types of pecs. So what fucking pecs are you going to deliver me?
Yeah.
Right? You're idiots in the warehouse that have been there for 2 weeks, don't know what pecs even is, are going to deliver me different shit every time.
Yeah.
The last time I made an order, I got pressure pipe 90s instead of actual like DWV 90s.
I like the pressure pipe 90s.
I can work with them, but it just shows their inconsistency.
You don't use pressure pipe 90s on a sump pump?
Nope. DWV.
I use pressure pipe.
So
90s. I don't put it a lot in, but I use pressure pipe 90s.
Yeah, I mean, it's not really.
Well, I mean, I'm a better plumber.
They probably
than
have
you,
like
but
their
that's okay.
kind of BS things where it's like they own ProFlow, so it's like their system is biased towards that. Probably.
Yeah, Ferguson owns ProFlow. The program specs Zoller pumps, and
I love
ironically,
Zoller
every
pumps.
time I need to order pumps, we're out of Zollers.
Yeah, you know
that's
why?
funny.
Because they're fucking good pumps, and your ProFlow pumps suck.
So actually, there's
They
several
suck.
YouTube videos where they put ProFlows against Zollers.
Fuck ProFlow pumps.
They literally pump them against each other. They pipe
Stop.
the discharges against each other.
That's not a good.
It's like a tractor pull.
Well, it's who's more powerful is what it is.
No, more powerful doesn't mean last longer.
But the ProFlow has a longer warranty. And I'm not
cares?
standing up for ProFlow. I'm just
cares?
saying on paper it's better.
What kind of
Whether in
what kind of
reality, I don't
Zollers
know.
do you need? I know someone that has like 25.
Zoller M53s.
Maybe I just actually come up with 5 or 10.
Maybe. So
Maybe you give me some cash.
ultimately, I told him
553. I'm gonna
this
look
last
tomorrow.
time. I'm like, look, I'm done having meetings. I'm done dealing with this. It
Either
should
give me
not
my
be-
shit or not.
It
It's
should
not
not be
hard.
this difficult to order the same fucking order every 2 weeks.
What do we talk about?
And-
What's the show about? Accountability.
Accountability.
You tell me that they don't have enough accountability to get you one fucking order that's
Right.
the same over and over again?
So this
That's a
last
breakdown
order,
in your process.
this last order,
Yeah.
they're supposed to have it delivered by Friday, and
This Friday
They're-
or last Friday?
they're
Today's Tuesday, if you
right.
don't know.
Right. So they were supposed to have it delivered by this last Friday.
Oh, no go.
And their transfer truck from their distribution
it's
center
never
never showed up.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, well, we can swing by and grab enough shit for our job on the way. And then I need everything else delivered to my shop. So they fulfilled that, right? So they're literally on their last straw.
That's good.
But
it's still not good.
it's still not.
It's good, but it's not good.
Yeah,
You can
exactly.
It's good, but it's
you
not
can sign
good.
up for a life insurance policy quicker than you can like some of those meetings that you have with some.
Dude, it's fucking atrocious. And then they're like, well, let's have a meeting with me and you and the local branch manager. And I'm like, no, I don't have to have a fucking meeting with Amazon to order $2,000 in shit from them.
Yeah.
I order it and it shows up.
Like
and if it's
yeah.
wrong, I send it back.
Like on your apps. I want
It's
pizza.
just-
I open Little Caesars. I hit cheese pizza. I get it to me. I
God,
go to
don't say
McDonald's,
pizza,
I want
I'm
this.
hungry.
Yeah. I don't have to have a meeting with the branch manager of Little Caesars to get the right pizza.
Yeah.
It just fucking shows up.
Yeah.
So
It's-
stop with your fucking meetings and just give me my shit. That's all it is.
They suck.
Yeah.
I've said they've sucked for 10
I'm going to
years.
end up with Odessa and Nelson this week. I might
You
even
should.
go out there tomorrow.
Go out there.
On this
Talk to
podcast.
Steve.
Yeah.
Talk to Steve.
We'll see.
He's still there.
I know. I'll have to check him out.
Do you remember Warren Supply?
Yeah. Who was the other guy that worked with him? Was it Chris?
Yeah.
He was a darker skinned, black haired guy. I don't know if he was quite
Yeah.
Mexican, maybe Filipino.
Smokes cigars all the time.
Yep.
Works at
I know the place. I can't think of the name. I'm picturing the building
it's on Blue Ridge Boulevard.
down by the plaza.
It is they had a branch on 40
Neenan?
Highway. Neenan. He
Yep.
works at Neenan.
Yep.
He's still there too.
He's still there too.
He's
Yep.
at Neenan.
Yep.
So if you're gonna hit up Neenan,
Ironically, just yesterday we got an
Brian.
account on Neenan.
His name's Brian.
Brian. Yep. Ironically, just
I
yesterday we
can't
got
believe
an
I
account on
fucking
Neenan.
remembered that.
So-
Wow. Do you know how many
It was a long
files I
time.
had to go through to get to that?
That was 18 years ago.
Damn.
Yep.
Brian. Yeah,
So-
he's still there.
Ultimately, as your job as a business owner is to push your
I'm good.
people where they need to be.
Sorry.
Pull your people out of a down place, and then hold them accountable to the standard that you set as the business owner. And if your people are performing poorly, it's because either you're not holding them accountable or your standards suck ass. So fix your standards and then start holding them accountable.
Well said.
Those are the only two reasons
Well
your people are performing
said.
poorly. Your people will perform to the level that you hold them accountable to. So
Yeah, and one last thing, just real quick. If you don't hold yourself to that level, they're not going to do it
you can
either.
never hold
Okay?
somebody accountable
You
to a
have
level
to be
higher
at
than
that
you hold
level.
yourself accountable.
You have to be at the level that you're setting.
Right.
Okay? Just
when
don't
I
fuck
was
around.
in the field, nobody had a cleaner truck than me. And the guys will take these cheap bullshit answers. Well, it's because you never did work. Bull fucking shit. I never did work.
Yeah.
Like, I ran the whole fucking company. I was the only plumber in the group and did all the sales, did
and
all
my
the
truck
everything.
was clean, bitch.
And my truck was clean enough that I took photos of it and shared it on Facebook.
And
of
then
like,
got you motherfuckers were here working because of those photos. What now?
I can literally refer back to a photo that was like, this is after a full underground pipe demo. And if our truck is this clean after demoing underground pipe, just imagine what we're going to take care of your house like. Just imagine what your house is going to look like after we've been in it. That photo is literally on my company Facebook page.
Mic drop.
So
Yeah, that one excuse I remember you getting one time where he's like, doesn't work for us anymore, so I can say it. But
I worked
he's-
late last night.
Or no, he'll say like,
I was on a big job
he's
yesterday.
like, oh yeah, I'm on a dig job. Like, you've been on a job for the last 3 months.
Yeah, that's the classic hoarder. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't have a chance to clean yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and
Damn, how many-
4,000 cat turds showed up in your living room yesterday.
How many bags of Cheetos did you eat? 75. Okay. In
Yeah.
one day? Yeah.
Right.
Uh-huh. Stuffed into the door
everyone
pocket.
sees right through
Did
that
you
bullshit.
see-
You're not convincing anybody with those excuses.
Did you see that Shelby put in the group? This has been a few days ago. Like, what's the number one thing that pisses you off? I don't even think it was in the group.
Oh, no, it was on her personal page.
Yeah, and
yep.
Dan Bianchi was like, when people stuff trash in my door panels. I was like,
Yeah,
yep.
that's you, man. That's
I
all you.
hate that. I fucking hate that.
Yep.
And then I look over and I've done it. And there's
Yeah.
like, oh, shit.
That's one of my OCD things. So I use the door panel as my trash thing.
And then clean it out.
I clean it out like there is not
Every day.
trash that sits in my truck
More
after
than one
I've
day.
driven it.
Yeah.
I'll put it in there, and then I grab it out whenever I go.
Yeah.
I'll be at the gas station and I clean out my door panel.
Dan put that on there, and I was like, oh shit.
I'll be running service calls, and I'll put trash in my door panel, and then I take it out of my door panel and I put it in the trash receptacle in the back of my truck. It is my OCD thing to never walk away from my truck with trash in my door panel.
Yeah,
he was like, no, seriously.
It's the place where it goes until I park my truck.
I love it.
It's those like small habits where it's the process. Okay, I park here before,
Yeah.
We have like our big trash can at our house is close to the garage. I park in the garage, and so it's like that's just my next system I want to implement. I usually do it like when I'm getting gas. That's whenever the windows get clean and the trash goes. But I'm wanting to work it to where like every time I pull in the garage.
Yeah, that's me. Every time I pull in the garage, I grab the trash out of my door panel and I throw it away.
It's that like signal is what he talks about in Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's everywhere, but like there's like a signal like
we're gonna shape this fucking Austin into shape if it kills us all.
I'll tell you, I gotta give Austin props.
He's gonna fucking kill us all.
His car has been very, very clean for what, about 6 weeks now?
Yeah, I was actually kind of upset because it was rainy today, and I'm like, man, I really like actually going out and washing.
Oh, has he been
car.
washing it? He been keeping it spotless?
So here, I love that you said that. I washed my truck yesterday.
Nice
We
job,
talked
bro.
about this on a recent podcast episode where
you're insane and wash your truck every Sunday.
I wash my truck when it's going to be in view of somebody else and they can judge my business based off the cleanliness of my truck.
That's not what we were talking about. We were just talking about you wash your truck every Sunday, whether it needs to be washed or
Exactly,
not.
right? Well, then there was a
crazy.
Thursday night Chiefs game where my truck parks on the front row of Chiefs Stadium, and so I washed my truck before the game, right?
Yeah.
Didn't need it. I do it because that's the
It's
standard.
crazy.
That's
Got
the
it.
habit.
Yeah. Understood. Crazy. Got it.
Yesterday, I'm dropping my truck off at the dealer for service today. Yesterday, I run it through the car wash knowing full well it's going to rain today. But the standard is I clean my truck before anybody else is going to see it. I don't know how many guys are going to see my truck at the dealer today when they're out there today and tomorrow while it's at the dealership and they're doing
cleaned
it
all
on it. But they are making a judgment about my company based off of the cleanliness of the inside and the outside of my vehicle. And so I clean my truck knowing that those mechanics and those service writers and whoever else is in that truck is judging my company based off the cleanliness of that truck.
They're not judging your truck. They're looking at it going, man, how do we fix this EV piece of shit? They're like,
Yeah, that's exactly
fuck,
what they're doing.
what are we doing? And
they're getting paid is what they're
No,
doing.
they're plugging that motherfucker in and they're looking at the screen like, oh, fuck, what do we do?
Well, I just hope they have it fixed by tomorrow night because they're supposed to. So
we'll see.
4 recalls and 1 customer service request. So
fucking see.
Yeah.
Another habit I'm trying to build. It's not like a cleanliness thing, but I had this awakening moment in college where I sat down at a table and I just started the conversation with a group of people about I did this and I did that, not a boastful thing, and this is my life. And then after a while, my friend looked at me. He said, "Dude, someone's mom could have died, but you were only caring about what was happening in your life." And I was like,
well,
so then like what I do now is like a habit of forming is I'm making for sure I ask someone else how they're doing in the conversation and don't make it about like, oh, well, this is happening, that's happening. Like, actually converse.
Let me provide some perspective to that. And Dave will appreciate this because I have not, my mother is still alive. Dave's mother has passed. Okay.
Yeah.
People die all the time. And I don't want to minimize death, right? It is personal. It is traumatic. It is something that we all have to get over. However, it is my job to be sensitive to Dave as his mother passes, but I can't live my life around Dave's mother passing, right?
No, you can't be like, oh, from now on I can never say, and I'm going to use this as an example. Layla will be like, so her and her friends joke now all the time is your mom.
Your mom jokes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And like it doesn't. And as a actual human being, you cannot live your life just like you're saying,
right?
As if your mom just died and you can't live in that perpetual state of grief.
Yeah.
Like that's not. First off, it's not healthy.
Right.
It's selfish, and that's just not what life's about.
Right.
Like to be honest, this is so weird that you brought that up. I was literally sitting on the couch yesterday watching Newsmax, thinking, "Thank God my mom's gone."
Yeah.
Like with the Israel thing, like she loves Israel, always wanted to go to Israel, all this stuff. Like
Thank God she's not having to see this.
Yeah, her whole greatest fear was that she would see the end of the world. And I'm literally sitting there and I'm like, thank God my mom's dead.
Right.
Like, like you cannot live your life in accordance with everyone else's sorrow or everyone else's pain or everyone else's trigger. That's just not how it goes. And if someone is like, well, you shouldn't say that. My mom died 2 years ago. Fucking get over it.
Dude, so
fucking
today,
move on with your life. Yes, it's awful. Yes, it's sad. It sucks. I think about my mom and I'm like, man, I'm fucking sad. But stop.
Right.
Okay.
Nobody makes it out alive.
No, you can't. We're all on the clock.
Yeah.
We're all going to fucking die. Get over it.
Right. Today.
Don't make other people feel bad because of your situation.
Well,
it's fucking bullshit.
He wasn't meaning that in a sort of like I should.
No, I know that, but I'm just talking about what Mitch was saying.
Those things about just kind of like being aware, and I've noticed like it's helping me make more contacts and friends, and it's like helping like more and more people. They're like, hey, like, you know, can you come out? You take pictures, whatever. But it's just like it helps me get more friends. Today,
I'm running estimates for the JOCO sump pump program, and this. So for those that don't know, this program, the county is literally paying us to go install sump pumps in people's homes. The customer pays nothing, and they get a sump pump installed in their home. Okay, and we're talking floor break sump pump, not like replace your existing pump. Install first time sump pump install.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it sucks. I've done a ton.
I mean, the work is what it is. It's pretty straightforward once you've done a couple of them.
Over there, usually the floor is pretty thin.
4 inches of concrete.
Yeah. If they're lucky, they got 4 inches of concrete.
Yeah, some of these are 16 inches thick. It just kind of depends.
What?
Yeah, seriously.
The last one I did over there, literally for my brother-in-law, the concrete was 2 inches thick. I busted it with an East Wing 28-ounce hammer.
Yeah, no, some of these are pretty thick.
I was just like, ping, ping.
So
ping, ping.
I met this lady today. The program warned me about this lady. They said this lady started crying when they were there doing the consult, trying to explain what needed to happen.
Why was she crying?
This lady is a chronic victim.
Then don't do the work.
Right. Well, I talked ourselves out of it today. So
yeah. Hey guys, they're like, get somebody else. I ain't doing it.
No, they know that we are better at customer service than any of the plumbers in the program. And so anytime they sense a customer needs a little extra handling, they point that customer to us. Okay. And so they give me a warning. This lady's got crazy anxiety. She's going to start sobbing when you're there. It makes her emotional to think you have to jackhammer her floor.
She's a psychopath.
She is definitely suffering from some ailments for sure. Okay.
Ailments. So, as in she needs to be in a loony bin.
Danielle tried calling her to set up the service call. She never answered the call. She never returned the call. Never nothing. And the reason why, so we had to have the program reach back out to her and say, hey, the plumber tried to call you. The reason why is because she recognized that the number that Danielle was calling her from was not our business phone, and she doesn't answer numbers that she doesn't know. Not to mention, like, Danielle left her messages and text messages
this is Smedley Plumbing.
This is what this is.
Yeah.
And because Danielle's number is not the business number, she put an all stop to the whole thing. So then we had to call from the business phone and get it all set up. So we go out there today. Oh, crazy, right? So we go out there today, and I'm telling her, like, you know, what we have to do is we have to jackhammer the floor. And she stops. She, like, literally cuts me off, and she's like, whoa, what? We have to jackhammer your floor and put in a sump basin right here. And, I mean, she literally, like it was the most exaggerated, exacerbated, like, falling to the floor. Oh, I'm going to pass out. This is so traumatic. You're going to do what to my house?
I would have left.
Oh, my God. It was...
I'd been like, dude, guys, this ain't happening.
And she's such a victim that she's like, why are you doing this in winter? Well, for one, it's not winter. It's October, right? It was 73 degrees today, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, shouldn't this be a summer project? Well, we have to do them year round. It is what it is. Well, isn't this going to damage my house being in winter? Fuck, it doesn't matter if it's winter or summer.
Look, crazy bitch.
No, yeah, she's just literally looking for any excuse to make this more dramatic, right? Well, then, so ultimately, I get to call whether we're doing this job or not, and I know this lady's a loon bin, so I'm like, we ain't doing this job here. So I tell her flat out, I'm like, we don't have to do the work. If you don't want to do it, it's perfectly fine for you to say no. If you think it should be done in the summer, just give us a call back in the summer. Right. And I know she'll never call back.
Yeah.
But then so we've already negated that we're not doing the job.
Yeah.
Well, then we start just light conversations. And it goes on and on about all of her...
all past ailments, all past things that have ever happened.
She's
I
like,
hate those people,
They
man.
cut down a tree in my backyard 3 years ago by accident. And she starts crying. It's a fucking tree. And for one, who cuts down trees by accident? And then this year, they cut down a tree in her front yard by accident.
Oh, God.
And I'm like... Okay, I've never heard of anybody having their tree cut down by accident, and you've had this happen twice in 2 years?
Yeah.
Like something ain't right.
Bitch, you crazy.
Right.
Bitch, you be crazy.
and it was just thing after thing after thing. And she's a hoarder.
Oh,
and so
God.
where this work needs to happen, she's going to have to move some space. And she starts crying about, that's years of work to put that stuff there. And I'm like, we'll move it. The program pays us to move that shit.
And hey, and guess what? It'll take us 10 fucking minutes.
Yeah,
you
it'll
crazy
take us.
ass.
And she's like, no, it's organized. Everything has its place. Like, I have to move it. I have to be involved.
Did you say I'll label all the boxes? I'll take a picture. We'll move it. And then when we go back, I'll look at the picture.
The program doesn't pay us enough to deal with a loon like that.
I'd have got the fuck out of there.
Like, we'll just come
I'd have
back
called
when
the
you're
program
ready.
and been like, hey.
Well, they were there. They were on site.
Did you say, hey, guys?
And so...
Sorry, we're out.
But
I'm not
ultimately, what I'm getting at is there are people out there that will look for every excuse to be a victim instead of every excuse to rise up and realize, hey, this is $4,000 in work being done to my house absolutely free of charge. I'll make some concessions to get it happening, right?
Well,
meanwhile, she's acting like she's being victimized.
Let's be honest. Like, I get it. The lady obviously needs to be in a home. Like, someone like that.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
100%.
They need to seriously have some mental evaluation.
Yeah.
Like, they need to be in a home.
Yeah. And
like her kids should know that. Like, if she has kids.
I don't know.
Probably not. She's probably still a virgin.
Who knows? Not my place to say all that shit, but like ultimately,
no, it's mine.
just
That's why we're on the podcast. It's hilarious.
You own a home. You're being offered $4,000 in work, absolutely free of charge, paid by your tax dollars, and you're finding reasons to be victimized by this work.
Yeah. See ya.
Adios.
Peace.
I got better places to be.
I'm out.
Right.
I'm out.
Meanwhile, so we've done like 40 of these projects, and all but one of them has been incredibly grateful, so appreciative, 5-star reviews, like love it, right?
Yeah, they're like, oh shit, free fucking work.
I got one guy that's like abusing us and trying to get extra shit out of it. Handled him accordingly.
I just went to that guy's house and been
40
like,
ain't bad.
Go to his house, be like, hey dude, stop being a douche.
Yeah.
Like seriously, what the fuck, man?
Right.
The painting guy.
Yeah, I had to repaint his floor.
Oh yeah, that guy. I forgot.
Douchebag.
Yeah, he is a douchebag. I'd slash his tires.
But
don't do that, guys, if you're in business.
Ultimately, that's all we got for today on pushing your people, pulling your people, or holding them accountable. 2.5 hours. It's a long time, but we got it. So by this time, you've realized that this has gone through 2 episodes. So
yeah, they know because you came in and said like later, hey guys, this is long. We're gonna go to number 2.
Right.
So it's just a beat. Sorry, I don't even make fun of you. I'm just fucking around.
Until next week, guys, we will see you later. At the time this is airing, this is the week of Halloween, so hopefully your kids had some good Halloween. So until next time, see you later.
Love you guys.